Good morning, everybody. Today's gym day, and finished reading this book a couple of days ago. I haven't talked about it yet. The Magicians. Very good TV series if you haven't seen it. So I was interested to see how the book was different from the TV show. And I think the book turns off a lot of readers that are like female because there's a lot of weird sexual things in it, like college age kids and learning magic, kind of like a Harry Potter kind of a thing, but not really. It's a more modern urban fantasy, and they get like super powerful, almost godlike. So they just, like what you would expect, they just kind of have sex with each other all the time. Kind of like the Old Man's War book, when the old people got younger, they all started having sex with each other. So it's kind of weird. In the TV show, it's not that much. I mean, like, there's this girl, Alice, and the main guy, Quentin. They get turned into swans or geese, and they fly to the south, or to Antarctica, to the Southern Magic School. And I think they had sex while they were animals? No, in the book, they turned into foxes and they had sex, I think. I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of, like, they see each other naked a lot too, which is kind of weird. But in the TV show, there's this girl named Margot, and in the book, I think Janet is supposed to be Margot because there's nobody in the book named Margot. And there's a gay guy. What was his name? Elliot. Yeah, and then there's Penny. Now Penny, in the book, he's like one of the best magicians, like using magic and stuff. But in the TV show, he can't use magic at all. He just teleports. It's like his only expertise is in being able to teleport. And it's really risky because he could teleport in the middle of a vacuum of space or something if he doesn't know what he's doing. And even like the regular magic is really complicated. Like you have to know all these circumstances of like the alignment of the planets and the moon and astronomical signs probably, and like all these different conditions to be able to know like what magic, like movements of your fingers and all this kind of weird stuff they do. It's really wild, the TV show. It looks pretty legit. But there's also this magical realm, kind of like Narnia or Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland, that there's these other books in the book where these children went to this world like Narnia and they became kings and queens. And that's kind of where the source of magic comes from. But the people in the real world, they don't know like where magic comes from. It's like a big mystery to them. They don't know that this world exists. And there's also this in-between realm they call the Netherlands. So they have to like get to the Netherlands. There's these like magical buttons that let you like teleport there. And then you go down a well that takes you to Fillory, which is the magic Narnia type place. So in the TV show, I think like the first 2 or 3 seasons, they're still at Breakbills, the school that teaches you magic. But in the book, like halfway through the book, they graduate Breakbills. They're already done. Now they're like going off to New York City and living in an apartment together. And then they end up going to Fillory because they're like bored because everything's so easy. And they're just like... At one point, Quentin, he tries to fly to the moon and back. Like he's so powerful, he's like, I'm going to give myself like something to protect me from the vacuum and something to keep me warm. And I'm going to fly. Flying is a different spell. So he's like layering all these different spells on himself. And he's not able to do it the first time, but I think he gets better later on. And it's kind of wild. There's also people that like get into to take the exam to join Breakbills, but then they fail it, and then they still want to learn magic. So they become hedge wizards or hedge witches. So they try to like wipe their memory, but she does this thing in the TV show where she scratches her arm so she can see that, and she reminds herself where she got that scar, and she kind of leads her down her memory trail. So I think she might have had a different name too in the book. I don't know. Yeah, so you got Elliot, Alice, Quentin, Janet or Margot, and then you got Penny. So it's basically 5, and Josh. Josh is also... He's kind of not that important character in the TV show until later on, but he becomes one of the kings in Fillory. And they're also like doing a lot of drugs and alcohol in this book too. That's another thing that turns people off. Is like, I don't know, it's just too collegey, too, I don't know. just a bunch of drunks and alcoholics they have too much power. And the TV show gets pretty wild. I think Elliot and Quentin become gay lovers at one point, and they live like this whole life where they become old because they're doing this kind of puzzle on the ground for years. But then, like, they find out that was just like a realistic dream or something in another world where time was condensed, and they come out of it and like, oh, okay, I'll just go back to my regular life where I'm 25 or whatever, and I'm not open anymore, and I guess I'm not gay anymore. So it's a wild show. If you haven't seen anything about this show, definitely check out The Magicians TV show. The book is good too. I love this little bookmark with the cats or people in fur coats. Has that kind of fillery looking feel to it. Yeah, I've got the other two books too. I don't know where I put them. I'll have to hunt those down. Finish that trilogy this year. 4 out of 5 stars, let me say.